to One Watched.
Oh, we're doing that. We're finishing sentences.
Ah.
We reached that point.
Ah.
Yeah, this is a special edition of One Watched. So ages ago, I believe it was the Christmas special, a special in its own, with my brother and my girlfriend. When we talked about One Watched, my brother talked about going to the theatre. And that set a precedent that it doesn't just have to be films.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our weekend
Okay.
at the time of recording. Where did we go, Tom?
We went to Slam Dunk Festival.
We did. You, me, my girlfriend Sarah, and Jack the Wrestling King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who hasn't been on one of these, surprisingly. We'll have to drag him into one of these at some point.
Yeah. Well, we were going to go with someone else. That fell apart for reasons I'm definitely not going into on a recording.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, we can invite Jack. And then, not sure he'll like the bands, but I'll send him the list. And he came back with abbreviated versions of the bands and was like, hell yeah. So he joined us. Let's go through the day. Let's try a chronological thing of our adventure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We started off. Nice normal walk to the station.
Oh, we started before that, actually. Jack came at 11.
Okay.
You guys were meant to come at 11:30. I knew you'd come early because you always come a bit early, like, for those kind of things. But then Jack turned up at 11. It's like, pretty early, dude. And he's like, well, we're getting the train at 11:30. It's like, no, meet here at 11:30. Oh. Well, I'm here now. And then there was an awkward moment where he looked at me like, are you going to make me go away for half hours? She's like, nah, come in. So then we talked about wrestling, because obviously that's what we talk about with Jack. And then you arrived, and then we walked. And the walk was nice.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yeah.
It was
and
a nice plodding walk in the sun. It was warm.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you realised,
we've not walked fast at all.
Yeah. Well, I have this problem, right? Because I have a really fast walk. Like, I put my headphones in. I'm always listening to, like, high tempo music generally anyway when I'm walking. And I go on thoughts a lot. But I walk really fucking quick.
Yeah.
Like, I can make... If you, like, Google Map from, say, my house to where I work, it's supposed to be a 15-minute walk. I make it in 5 or 10.
Yeah.
Like, I leave 20 minutes early. I always have 10 minutes to sit down with a coffee or something when I get there. Because I just walk really fucking quick. And I always then assume that's a walking pace. But then when you're with other people, that's not necessarily a walking pace.
You start talking and shit. I'm
Yeah.
the same. Like, I went slightly early when I changed my shifts because for a few years I was riding a bike to work. I was like, I'm going to walk because one, it's sunny and two, it's the middle of the day, so I can't just bump it down the hills and not hit cars.
Well, there's a much very heightened risk of cars, especially. I assume you're going down Fraser.
Cobden and Fraser.
Yeah. Fraser has one of the worst blind fucking corners.
Yeah.
With cars parked either side, so you have to go in the middle, and it effectively becomes a blind corner one way. It's fucking horrible. I always hated driving that road.
Yeah. So walked it, gave myself a bit extra time. Got there in 10 minutes. Had like 20 minutes to just sit around. I was like, oh, it does not take me that long to get
this
here.
Walking?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, especially like okay, so we're in the Woodseats area of Sheffield. It's very much like the game Dark Souls. There are shortcuts and passages and optimal routes coming out the fucking wazoo.
Yeah.
There's like, oh, this one's close, you just go this way, or you just turn. You can even like vary turn-offs and get there roughly the same. So there isn't like, oh, I need to go the main road and wait for traffic lights and everything else, because there's that many fucking back roads.
Yeah.
So once you learn the streets, once you've walked these streets, you've lived this town, you just get fucking there quickly.
Yeah.
But that was not the case heading to the train station, was
not
it?
at all.
No. So then, me and Sarah, I was like, we need to pick up the pace. Turn to you guys, we need to pick up the pace. It's like, yeah. There was a definite gap between me and Sarah and you and Jack. But me and Sarah were like, well, I think every time we get so far ahead, they're catching up. So we're just going to power walk. And then Sarah was like, she's not a great walker. Like, she does walk.
Yeah.
But she's not a pacey walker. And she was like really trying to keep up with me, and I was really proud of her. And then she was like, oh, we could order an Uber. I was like, by the time we get to a road where it's going to come and everything else, plus it's fucking Uber, let's just bomb it. I didn't think we were going to make it. And then if we missed that train, it wasn't like there wasn't another train 20 minutes later. It's just that train was then an hour and a half instead of the quick one. So yeah, we had this power walk.
Yeah.
Your experience of the power walk, because you were walking with Jack. Me and Sarah are like a couple of furlongs ahead.
So, we all started power walking together.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Jack were still talking like a slightly power walking pace.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were talking for a bit. And then we looked ahead and we suddenly realised that you were power walking ever so slightly faster than us. So just like over the span of like 5 minutes, you'd gone from being just ahead of us to being like 10, 20 metres ahead of us.
Yeah.
And we're like, we should probably speed up a little bit now. So we kept catching you up as we got to like roads, and then you'd cross the road and cars would block us.
Because we got lucky with most of the roads and traffic lights. Like, it was all green men most of the time. Or like, okay, one car comes, right, bomb it, done. So that, yeah. So it was this power, fucking dramatic music and shit. And then we made it to the station.
Yeah.
And then everyone looked at the board and was like, Leeds 4A, Leeds 4 this, oh, Leeds is this. And so it was like, no, it's 1B. Yeah. And like 1B was going to Edinburgh or something, but it was like, that's the fast one.
Yeah.
So Sarah then was like, no, we're going this way, and led us all to the train. Fair old queue, get on the train. No seats left.
No, at all.
No. So we moved up. And okay, so we moved up and we just stood in the aisle. Jack, we'll go with Jack's story, and then we'll go for each experience on that train, if that's right. This is I don't know if this one watch is interesting. It's different. I call it a special. I know you've watched things. We'll do that in another one watch, because this is not going to be the weekly one watch. This is a special one. So Jack, he's on the train. Jack is a great guy.
Yeah.
He's big. He's got a big bushy ginger beard, no hair on top, and he is naturally funny and laid back and relaxed. But when he's annoyed, he won't bother with you.
Yeah.
Because he's annoyed. You know what I mean? And you can wind him up in a really like funny way, and he takes it really, really well. Like when you mention how great Nikki Bella, the legendary Nikki Bella is, the wrestler. He'll put on a face like it's the worst thing ever, but you know he's joking.
Yeah.
But there's times where he's not fucking joking. So we're still on the train, and the way he described it, 2 Scouse blokes behind him are just like, oh, there's no one moving up then. No one moving up. Jack just turned and went, there's no space to move up. And then there were 2 empty seats. But they weren't empty seats, they were like 2 kids. But they were sat like on their parents' laps on their seats, like playing games. And apparently this goes, well, there's 2 seats over there. Oh, I'm going for it then. And the way Jack described it is, I just went, there's no room up there. And then he turned his back on them.
Yeah.
And just left them.
And just took up as much space in the aisle as possible. And Jack's a big lad, so he can take up that space.
Yeah.
They were not going anywhere.
So that me and Sarah, right? We got... My mum has a thing. She texts updates of her life, and she'll send the same text like 3-4 times, but she'll send the same text to me and Sarah. So she writes a text: hi Sam/Sarah, Hillary/mom here, this was telling me she's going to Liverpool for a few days, Nathan's feeding the cat so you don't need to bother, lots of love, Mom/Hillary. And then, so we got the same text like 3 times. So that was like a convo about my mom, and then we got in a convo about we're trying to buy a house, so convos about that, and just general life. Because the train was going to Edinburgh. We talked about Edinburgh, the most English city I've ever been to, right in Scotland. It's a gorgeous place, but Dad's family's from the Isle of Bute. That's a certain type of island, Scottish life. It's about an hour from Glasgow. So Glasgow was the city we tended to go to. That's a very different feeling Scottish city than Edinburgh, which is very, very like twee middle classy.
Yeah.
It's like someone took Castleton and made a huge like thing with it. But so we stood there under air conditioning. There's people around. Occasionally they're looking at us. Occasionally not. I'm very glad I've sprayed deodorant because I got my arm up holding the thing and I was like, I don't smell. I'm very glad I don't smell because I'm very close to this woman. There was a really nice there was 2 couples behind us. I think they were Welsh. They had really nice soft Welsh accents. They were just talking about life and laughing. One of them was like his wife was saying, oh, he always packs his bag. When we go to the airport, he always packs his bag. And it was like, well, why? And he goes, well, I can't do the Welsh accent, so we need Ruth here to do a Welsh accent. It was like, I like to pack my own bag, so when they ask, have you packed your own bag, I can say yes and not be lying.
Yeah.
So that's really sweet. I don't want to lie, so I'm going to make the effort. So I occasionally looked over at you and Jack, neither talking, both very surly looking, especially Jack, but I didn't realise he'd had the double. So me and Sarah had this lovely journey. You and Jack seemed to be quiet, but I was like, well, neither of them particularly crowds or being around people. They stood out, there's people either side. I know Jack has a bit of claustrophobia because he'd mentioned it, so I'm like, well, maybe this is just a bit awkward, but they're not crying. So chat to Sarah. How was your train journey?
My train journey. I was in quite a hot space with not having air conditioning directly on me.
Yeah, you missed the fuck out. That air conditioning was fucking great. It was full on cold air, just the right amount of strength that you feel it and you know it's there and it's cooling you, but where it's not unpleasant or makes you cold.
Yeah. I was next to the Welsh couple, or the Welsh couples, and they had some interesting chats, and that kept me somewhat entertained and sane for a little bit. But I was also next to a kid that did not want to stay still in his mum's lap and wanted to change seats constantly and wanted to like draw while swinging his elbows into the crowd, and trying not to hit him.
Like by accident or in anger?
By accident, because
Right.
he kept moving into places, so every time like the train moved, like I was having to adjust my body slightly so that the train doesn't move me into hitting him in the head because he's like scrolling about and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Before we get off the train, I want to go back in time. When Jack came round, on the walk, the thing that like held us back, I mean, it's slow. Jack was talking about all the horror films he'd watched.
Yeah.
And he began by saying, "Oh, I watched this film with such and such and da da da. So this is now film. Oh, it did so late." And then he talks about a film, and the way he described it was, "Oh, it's got Nathan Petrelli from Heroes in it, and his wife is a child."
Yeah.
And then there was a pause, just long enough that it felt like he was leaving it as his wife is a child, and all of us were like, "What?
Yeah.
Oh!" It's like, no.
And the thing was, he goes, Nathan Petrelli, he's like this preacher guy, and then his wife's a child. What?
Yeah.
No, child psychiatrist.
Yeah. But I think you forgot the word psychiatrist. Then there was lots of talk about, well, that's a different kind of horror film.
Yeah.
It's not one I'm going to watch. I never suspected Nathan Petrelli from Heroes would be like that. The Nathan Petrelli's the character from Heroes, not the guy's acting name. I can't remember what his name is. He's not in much. Anyway, train arrives in Leeds. They always do a thing, like, I used to live in Leeds, so that train journey, once you get past Wakefield, usually Wakefield, Kirkgate, you know you're heading to Leeds. Then they do the announcement for Leeds, and then there's another 5 minutes of anticipation before you actually get to Leeds.
Yeah.
But everyone gets their bags ready for Leeds. We're out in Leeds. We're out in the station. It's Leeds Station. It's alright. It's enclosed. It's big. Ticket barrier. No problems. No one got left behind. And then we headed out into Leeds.
Yeah. And after a few minutes of looking at the map from Sarah, we figured out where we were going.
Well, we figured the direction.
Yeah.
At times we were walking on dots.
Yeah.
Yeah. What for Leeds is... So I used to live in Leeds. And I'm not a fan of Leeds. I don't like the feel of Leeds. Now I know that like there's a Sheffield Leeds thing. I don't know if listeners are that tribal or local, but... Or 8 or 9 of them. We get 8 or 9 now.
Nice.
We've slowly increased these things. Although this one might kill off.
Post your names in the comments so we can shout you out by name at this point.
Well, don't. Just listen to a minute and then give up. That's fine. It's fine. But like, it has a weird feel, Leeds. And when you're walking around Leeds, it's like, there's always kind of drunk people or people kind of, they seem a bit homelessy, but it isn't like, I don't mean that as the problem is that they're homeless, it's that they're just kind of left. We saw like a couple who seemed like they might have taken many substances in their time, arguing and fighting over a plastic bag. We walked past like a dead pigeon on the floor. People aren't smiling. People are bumping into each other and not saying sorry, and it's just like, I just don't like the feel of Leeds. I feel like it feels like a miserable place, like an unhappy or a grumpy kind of place.
Like all the buildings are really tall, which in like certain circumstances is nice, but when it's crowded, it just feels really cramped. Like it feels like you're enclosed all the time, even though you're in like a massive like area.
Yeah, I was saying this to Jack because Jack has a big connection with Manchester. Now, I've been in Manchester a few times as well, and the thing when I moved to Leeds and when I went to Manchester that I found took some getting used to is walking around the city centre where all the buildings tower over you, one after the other after the other. In Sheffield, there's always so many gaps. There's so many hills and stuff that you're always seeing like sky and distances. Yeah. And the few streets where it's not like that, they're super fucking wide with no road. Whereas in Leeds, it's like there's roads and they're narrow and it's a different feel. It's a more oppressive like urban living feel than like Sheffield has. And also, without going into any of the politics. Yeah. It's the weekend after the Manchester attack. Yeah. So there's a lot of like, there's a different kind of feel to Leeds. There's an uneasiness, and
Yeah.
there's that's definitely magnified by, like, we must have walked past at least three pairs of very heavily armed policemen with guns. Which goes into a conversation.
Yeah.
Do you want to be near the guys with guns or not?
It's like, do they make me feel safer or less safe? How good is their info? Because if their info is really good, I probably want to be as far away from them as possible. If it's just that they're generally patrolling, then being close to them is probably safer. Who knows?
In my experience, you don't want to be around when the guns go off.
Yeah.
That's like, it's mainly it's been abroad where I've seen, or I've been in London when there was a shooting, and the police were shooting at like a car. But it's like mostly when I've been in Sri Lanka, which every police officer is like 6 foot tall, clearly on roids, and has AK-47s and shit. Like, and you don't want to be where they are because there's fucking guns, and when guns fire, like, stray bullets are all, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, so it's a bit of a weird vibe. And then we got in, like, we walked and we found the arena.
Yeah.
And it's really nice and sunny. Lots of people. We've got 3 versions of a free magazine. Saw a lad I know and met his girlfriend for the first time. Said hello to them. Went to the first of many queues.
Yeah.
First it was a bag check.
Yeah.
Bag check number 1.
Bag check before we even got into that area.
Yeah. Bag check. That bag check went absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And then we got into the queue to get your wristbands, because you got to have wristbands to get everywhere. And that queue, like, it snaked round. And Sarah and Jack hadn't had bags, so they just went round.
Yeah.
Me and you went round. The bags, so we're a bit behind them, but we all met up. And then there was a second bag check.
Before that, though.
Yeah.
When we caught up with them, with the bag check, you, Sarah, was still at the thing waiting.
Right. Okay. So Sarah had said, Facebook message, and mentioned this. She'd said, "Oh, it says you need ID."
Yeah.
And then everyone had been like, "Oh, Jack had brought ID because he'd just seen ID and really careful." You said, "Oh no, I think it's only if you buy booze." And I was like, "Did you not fucking learn from wrestling?" We went to wrestling.
No, it's for the booze, because you can get, if it's over 14s, you can get the under 14s one if you don't have ID. You'll get a different thing, different wristband, if you remember from the last one.
You couldn't get into, I think, the Fireball tent if you were under 18, I believe.
Fair enough.
But like, they said bring ID. Sarah, she's 25 now.
Yeah.
Actually, he said this to the guy. We'll go through that. She got ID'd again because even though she's 25, she looks younger.
Yeah.
So like, she always gets ID'd. And we went to wrestling once. She didn't have ID on her. And luckily, like, when they did the whole "what's your date of birth?" and she said it, and they're like, okay, yeah, come in. Which was great because otherwise it's like, oh fucking fuck. And that would annoy me because on the tickets it said 14, under 14's okay, accompanied by an adult. So I was like, well, even if she's under 14, I know that would be a bit weird, but she can still come in. I just probably won't kiss her in front of you because you'll think she's, under 16 and no. But she's not. She's well
we
out.
vouched for her. And
I think
she bearded and look old enough, so we got past her.
Yeah, I think she looks hideously old, but everyone else thinks she looks young. I think I've haggard the poor girl a lot.
She looks older than when you met her.
Oh yeah,
like,
definitely.
She's aged more than 5
years.
Yes.
Yeah.
She looked about 12 when you met her.
I know.
Now she looks like 17.
I remember like when me and Sarah first started dating, like one of my housemates at the time was in a band. Took her to see him, and afterwards he's like talking to me. Oh, did you enjoy it? Yeah, it's good. Because friends were asking, how old is Sarah? Like, she's 18. No, she was 19 at this. No, she was 20 at this point.
20.
She's 20. And they're like, right, just she looks like she's in secondary school. It's like I know, but she's not. She's doing a degree.
Yeah.
It's only 5 years between us. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. But yeah, so then, then the guy, I was like, did you get ID'd again? And he's like, yeah. It's like, she's 25, man. And he's like, he smiled like, well, I've got to do my job. Yeah. I was, oh, no, I'm sorry, I know. I just, keep telling him I'm trying to age her. Like, got her ID out, and he's smiling, the girl's smiling. I was like, I think I might have been a bit of a dick there. But he didn't apply the wristband particularly tight or anything. And then we went to another queue to get into the new arena that's in Leeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that queue was like, oh, we're in a queue. Oh, no, it's snakes around here. Yeah. Oh, no, it's snakes back. Oh, no, it's snakes around. And then...
And for a little bit, it was a double queue.
Yeah.
Which had the people shouting to explain because you had a seating area and standing area were separated. You could go to either one, like your ticket didn't matter.
Yeah.
But they were separated from like each other as far as like searches and stuff goes.
Mm-hmm.
But the queue for the standing area was so big that it sort of split across the seating area bits.
Yeah.
So for a bit we were in the wrong queue, but we were still in the right queue.
yeah. But and there was the inevitable because you had to get your wristbands first before you went in that queue. There was the inevitable people who reached the front and then got told they didn't have wristbands and they joined the wrong queue and had to go back. And that was like oh, that's gonna happen to someone, wasn't it? And then this queue snagged. And then another bag check came, but they were dividing it, guys and girls, for body searches. So Sarah was like, "Oh, I'm going ahead of you. I'll take the bag." So she took the bag, right? I took some e-cig stuff with me. I took a few batteries and a bottle, and just put them in a carrier bag in a bag. Oh, I forgot. In one of the other bag searches, this girl really fucking searched because it was like Sarah's bag, but I was carrying it most of the day. Really fucking searched it. And then just at the end, she like reached in as if she found something, and then she pulled her hand out, and it was just a piece of fluff.
Yeah.
And she just like tossed it away. It's like, I'm not even sure how that piece of fluff could have felt like anything. You know. But anyway, so we went to this other, the third bag search by this point, and the bloke pulls out the carrier bag. Like we're in one queue, Sarah's in the other. The bloke pulls out the carrier bag and is like, "What's this?" So it's his e-cig stuff, and then he's like, "Is there anything else I should know about?" It's like, I've been thinking about this since. Why should you know that there's e-cig stuff in there? Like, why would Sarah come and say, "Oh yeah, he's got his e-cig stuff"? It's like, you're looking for bum parts and shit, dude. Like, if you want to know that it's not a bum part, absolutely. But then, do you want to know that everything in there isn't a bum part? And he made another girl spray a perfume, and Sarah was, "I've got sun cream." And I didn't check that sun cream. I could have been. And then, like, Sarah was way ahead, and then she wasn't.
Yeah.
Because we got to body searches. How was your body search?
It was alright. It was quick. At one point I did think he was going for a reach around, but that was just a temporary glitch in his search. It was alright.
My guy was alright, and then he pulled on my belt from behind really hard, and it thrusted me forward. And I was like, "Oh, okay, alright." My arms are up in the air, like I'm actually doing that physically in life, even though you won't be able to see it, dear listener. And then, oh fuck! So my body search was over a bit before your body search.
Yeah.
But I managed to time my warp because you were ahead of me, so I was just behind you. And I said, "Oh, we should wait for Sarah and Jack," because Sarah was behind in the queue because girls took longer to body search because they had less people doing it as well.
Yeah.
And I'd been the cutoff between me and Jack, old wrestling Jack, and you. I assume the body search messed you up a bit because you just went.
Yeah. I just saw crowds of people. I didn't see you at all. And I was just like, right, we're being funneled through here. And there was people saying, right, we need to go past this bit. So I just went.
We were literally walking almost as if we'd walk in the street. I was maybe a fraction of a step behind you and was like, "Oh, we should wait for Jack and Sarah." And you, staring ahead. There's two, I think there were two girls in, stewards' uniforms. And then there's these double doors. And people are going in, they're not coming out these double doors. So I'm like, once you're through there, you're through there. And it's just, all I can see behind that is darkness. So I'm like, right, we'll wait for them in this bit because it's a nice little big enclosure before we went through the doors. You just disappeared into the darkness. And I was like, Sarah has sex with me and Jack's he doesn't, he's the babe in the wood. He doesn't really, well, he knows some of these bands, but he's not done this kind of thing before. You've gone off. I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
So I waited. How was going into the dark for you?
It was alright. It wasn't as dark as when we later went into the dark.
We'll come to that.
Yeah. So I went in and then went to turn back because suddenly you guys weren't there. And you were really close to me, so I thought that you'd be in just after me anyway, even though I hadn't seen you there. You had gone for your search just before me. Jack was just behind me. Sarah was behind two other people or something. So I was like, "Oh, they'll be in a second." And then you guys didn't come in for ages. And loads of other people came through. Yeah. I don't know if it was Sarah's extra bag check or whatever was taking a while. But so many people came in before you guys. And I was like, where have they gone? But I wasn't allowed back out. So I couldn't check. It was I can go upstairs. But I wouldn't have thought you would have gone upstairs because the stage is right here. Or I could stand there. So I'm just stood next to a curtain alright.
Jack came round. So I saw you go through the darkness. I waited. Moments later, Jack came round. And then his first question was, "Where's Tom?" I was like, I think the violation might have got to him. He'll be inside. We'll find him. And he's like, waiting for Sarah. Yeah, cool. He goes, how was yours? He goes, mine was alright. Like, the guy pulled my belt a bit. It was a bit weird. How was yours? And Jack went, well, the guy was like the cheeriest guy ever. He's like, yeah, right, man, you here for a good time? Yeah, what bands are you looking for? Arms up, please. And then he's like, and then he became a very, very rough man. And apparently he was very rough with Jack. But then, like we said, Jack is a big guy, so maybe he thought like, oh, sturdy, I like it. But yeah, so Jack was very like, so I liked him, but I'm confused if he liked me. And we waited for Sarah. Sarah took a while, and we were like noting like, oh, there's the girl with the green hair. Sarah's 2 back from her. There's the girl with the glasses. Right, Sarah's the next one. Sarah came in. We walked through. Now, this arena, you walk in from the side entrance, and there's like, okay, I apologise because I'm trying to describe this. There are stairs going up to your right, and they lead to like your little fast food joints. Fast food is not the operative word for what those places, and like your merch stand, and then there's some bits back where you can get to like smoking area and stuff. And then directly in front of you is the stage. And you've got stewards telling you, come on stage this way, food up there and stuff. So, you had walked into darkness by this point.
Yeah.
Yes, you were in the main stage. So, do you want to go by what happened with your perspective first, and I'll go with mine?
Mine's actually a very simple perspective, so I'll let you go with yours.
Lead with mine. Okay, so me, Jack and Sarah step in. And I'm like, Tom will probably be somewhere on the stage, probably near the back. So we'll go find him. So we went into the main bit. And I was holding Sarah's hand. And Jack's like, just Jack face. And I saw her step in. And then I could not see a fucking thing. Like, MC Lars, I think at this point, is on stage. He's talking about, I think it's TX, when they're great. Because that was the first band that we missed. And I cannot see a thing. All I can do is hold Sarah's hand, and I'm walking really fucking slowly because it's that I can't even see the floor. I can't see in front of me. I can't see anything. And then I let go of Sarah's hand because I felt like I was off balance. And I was literally like, my arms are out in front of me. I couldn't see anything. I could hear Jack. I could sort of hear Sarah. And I put my arm out for where I thought Sarah was, and I just got air. And I was like, I'm just gonna move forward very fucking slowly. And then eventually, like, I found Sarah, who was stood with you and Jack. I actually felt Jack's face just to make sure it was Jack. And it was just like, even then it's like the 4 of us, I can just see the outline. My eyes are just adjusting, but it's still so fucking dark.
Yeah. On my side, it wasn't quite that dark when I went in because they had some of the lights going on to the crowd because he was talking to the crowd. So I could see little bits. Mm-hmm. And then I'd adjusted by the time you guys came in. So to me, it was just you guys walked in and I came and joined you. That was it. Like, I didn't really notice, like, you, like, search around and stuff. I just, like, I saw you and Sarah and Jack and headed over. Mm-hmm. And then you guys were like, oh, there you are. Mm-hmm. Not as much as later when we went down.
You then had to turn the torch on.
No, that was later. We went off upstairs, I think.
Oh, did we go to get food at that point?
Yeah. Right. Went up, got some food. And then
me and Sarah got food. You and Jack. Yeah. Jack got Cokes. Yeah. Jack got a free ticket, basically. I think he was very grateful for it. He's that kind of guy, Jack. He wouldn't say how he feels, he'd just try and show it. Yeah. So he brought us all Cokes. Q was not too bad. The burger was fucking disgusting. Yeah. And then they said, like, oh, we're out of meat burgers. There won't be any for 15 minutes. Would you have a chicken one? Sarah had a chicken one. And the meat one was flavourless. The chicken one was flavourless, but then occasionally got a bit spicy. Yeah. So that was, like, the difference. You can find the smoking area. Got to find that. Lovely outside bit. Tables and that. Built for, like, 50 people, maybe.
At most.
Yeah, unfortunately, by the end, there's, like, 200-300 people trying to cram in there. Fucking ridiculous.
So I did that, and then we went back in to catch some of the Ataris.
Yes.
So we went downstairs at this point, and when we went in at this time, every single light was on the stage. There was no lights in the crowd at all. Like, there was no acclimatized into the darkness. It was just pitch black.
Yes. I have an insider perspective on this. My boss, who also like has done work for Zebrahead and stuff, she was in the sat bit because the arena has like a standing bit and then it has a seating bit, like raised seating bit behind. And she said you couldn't see anything except stage, but you'd just see torch lights, and then people would be illuminated for a second, and then it would disappear. So it's really weird and eerie, and that's what we had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we basically walked into a completely pitch black room, slowly walked forward for a little bit. At one bit we, like, Jack wanted to, like, be wary because he's a big guy and he didn't want to knock anyone over. But then me and Sarah all kind of went, Jack's bigger, he can push through. And went behind Jack instead. And then eventually I thought, oh, I've got a touch on my phone. Whack that on.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was a very easy walk through. Well, for me, it was very easy. You guys were, you know, as you described it, were following the Firefly.
Yeah. They were found a bit at the back. Saw the Ataris.
Yeah.
Right, Ataris. Not a big fan of the Ataris, but they did Boys of Summer, a cover song. Really like that song. I feel like they are that one-hit band that has that one song people come to see them for. So they played other stuff. I didn't really get into it.
No, it's kind of... It all sounded like other bands. Every song sounded like a slightly different band. At one bit, I thought they were doing a Green Day cover. And then realised that it wasn't a Green Day cover. Because when they first started playing it, I was like, I'm sure these guys didn't write this song. This is Green Day. And then it was their own song. But it was very, like... It was basically like they sung a different song over Green Day's track.
Yeah. Right. Help me out. There's a band. They have an amazing album cover. It's a girl in like a school uniform and she's holding it open and there's bomb. She's holding a bomb. She's got like a bomb strapped to her. It's like a really famous album cover by a band. The kind of like emo but faster. So I think like the word emo core gets put in and stuff. I think they did a song called Race Car or something like that.
No.
I've seen them live.
No.
And I saw them live supported by Fight Star Charlie from Buster's band, but I cannot remember the fucking...
I can think of loads of bands like Bring Me the Horizon.
No.
It's not My Chemical Romance.
No.
Bullet for My Valentine.
Just like you said it would be. Can't feel the same. Can't feel the same about you anymore.
Avenged Sevenfold?
No. About you anymore.
No.
I might just start Googling a little bit. There was a couple of songs that sounded like them, which is fine. But the thing is, the Fireball stage is like, it's pop punk and ska.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's, even before it was the Fireball stage, like Slam Dunk is always, it's the one festival I found that has a dedicated stage to like your pop punk ska, your there's sometimes more reggae bands and stuff. And this is like the biggest or most popular lineup for that stage I've seen. But their music didn't really fit.
Yeah.
Until Boys of Summer came on, you know? Okay, Tom, take it. I'm Googling.
So, so after them, went for another break, as we do.
Yeah.
E6 and stuff. Just a very quick break. And then we came back for...
Funeral for a Friend. Is the name of the band. They reminded me of Funeral for a Friend, the Ataris. They did Boys of Summer.
Yeah.
And Jack's like, even Jack knew Boys of Summer. And I looked, he's just got like a look on his face. You've got a look on your face. Sarah is going mental. Like,
Sarah
I can see you. Yeah, she does. She loves it. She gets so into it. So proud of that girl. Yeah, sorry, we've gone upstairs, we've gone to the E-Sig.
Yeah, and we came back for...
Yeah.
Zebrahead.
Zebrahead were next, yeah. Zebrahead are a weird band.
Yeah.
Right. Did you know Zebrahead before we saw them a couple of years ago? You did?
Yeah.
Right.
I like Zebrahead.
Mm-hmm.
Zebrahead are very fast and quite aggressive in their music. How they act on stage does not reflect this.
Yes. Right. I've got insight in this. Right. So Zebrahead they're kind of pop punk, but more the punky side than the pop punk. They have a faster, more aggressive style. They have a rapper and a singer or an MC kind of guy, and some of the subjects they cover, like mental health, and is one of their famous songs. They did the anthem, but between songs they do very goofy stuff. Like, you know, the guy who said it was his birthday.
Yeah,
it wasn't his fucking birthday. No, he was like, oh, it's my birthday. Apparently they were pissed because every band got 2 bottles of Fireball whiskey for each member for each day they were there. So I'm told. Yeah, fucking hell, right? And like, the thing about them is they play music. It's like, have you ever seen The Offspring live?
No.
Okay. You ever seen System for a Down live?
No.
Okay, this is getting difficult. Right. There are bands that play with a kind of energy, or a kind of aggression. It doesn't have to be aggression. It can be more a chill out ska thing. But it feels like the music and the song is the thing that they're really going all out for. And those sort of bands, they don't tend to talk as much. And if they do talk, maybe it's a political message if it's like System of a Down. Or maybe it's just like, oh, it's good to be here, like Offspring talk about. And then they go into the next song. Because it's all about the playing bit. And Zebrahead play songs like those sort of bands would be doing. But then they fill their shit with goofy shit. It's like this. It's quite jarring.
Yeah.
Between like the songs and the way the songs are done, because the songs are not goofy songs, except when they do goofy skits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what Ross was saying, they like their early tours were with bands like Bawling for Soup and Blink-182 and bands like that, who are all about the goofy skits. And they were like, you can't come out as the support and not do your own goofy shit. If you just come out and play, people don't fucking get it, and they don't want like so. And she was like, no, I saw gigs where like one of the band members from Bowling for Soup pulled something across the stage, I think it was a guitar case, with a chain to his testicles. And she's like, and they had to fit into that, so that's why they do the goofy stuff. But it jars with what, like, you know what I mean?
Although the boat was still amazing.
Oh, they they always have like extras. Prop extras. Last time we saw them, it was two guys dressed as Germans in like the classic German lederhosen. This time it was two guys they just called the Beers.
Yeah.
And they put a boat on the stage, and then a guy with a mohawk jumped on the boat with him.
And they were shouting pirate, and I think that's what they were on about at first. They were like, pirate! And then just this punk guy just got in the boat with them.
And then this like dinghy is like carried across, like people carrying it over their heads. Yeah, that was cool. That it was a good visual.
Yeah.
It just didn't quite fit to me with what that band is about.
Yeah.
But I liked them. I did enjoy their set. After Zebrahead, was it Caddies?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So between like, should we talk about MC Lars now? Should we get that out of the way?
Yeah, why not?
Right. We've seen MC Lars before at Slam Dunk a few years ago, right? He's cool.
He's really good when he's an act.
Yes. It didn't work, did it? Right. So the whole idea was between the bands, MC Lars was going to be there. But how it translated, he came out before Zebrahead and introduced Zebrahead, but he didn't introduce the other bands.
Yeah.
So he wasn't there to introduce and hype the crowd up before, like a comedy festival.
Yeah.
He'd come out after a band had finished playing, when everyone's shuffling out to get food or a cigarette or whatever, or a drink. And he would play one of his songs.
Yeah.
And it's like, it didn't work, you know?
It wasn't just that, he wasn't set up properly to be doing a set. So he's basically playing on a pitch black stage at the front. He's doing his rap, but he's doing his rap to a very weakened backing track compared to his proper act. He doesn't have any of his props that he normally had, like when we saw him.
Yeah.
So there's no sort of reference for anything he's saying.
Yeah.
Like for you to understand what he's actually on about.
What I thought it was going to be, because I looked and it's like it was 20 minutes to half an hour between each band. So I was thinking he's going to come out and do 20, 25 minute skits between each band to keep the audience going and to keep people there and shit. But it wasn't. It was like one song and then he'd leave. Yeah. And he did download this song, which he recorded with the lead singer from Bowling for Soup. But the lead singer from Bowling for Soup didn't do it, so he played the tape version later on. I really like MC Lars, but it didn't work. Yeah. It was weird and it didn't work for him. Yeah. And he actually got booed apparently a couple of times later on, which I wasn't there for.
Fair enough. I know. Like Jack, like didn't seem to get MC Lars at all. When we're in the seating area, we just sort of stayed between the bands rather than going out.
Spoilers
because you had to go.
Yeah.
And I was just saying to Jack, I'm like, I assure you, like, with his proper set, he's actually really good.
Yeah.
Like, this just doesn't work for him.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a set right.
When he came out a couple of years ago at Slam Dunk, we saw it was still at the Leeds Uni building on a smaller stage then. That was the time we saw Street Level Infesto. Oh, I love that band. He came out, he had a TV screen that played videos to do with the songs he was singing, and he just rapped. It's about his lyrics, did his songs, and he's really fucking good. He's really entertaining. He plays off the crowd, but he's funny. He's got comic timing. Yeah. But it didn't work. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
And didn't work at all. Right. So anyway, MC Lars is out. We've done that bit.
Yeah.
So Zebrahead, like a bunch of people piled out. We went and got some cig, and then I wanted to make sure we were back in time for Mad Caddies. Because Mad Caddies, for many years, have been on my list of bands I want to see before I die. And they're one of the bands on that list that are still living and still going. I'm not so bothered about it's going to be the original lineup. Although I draw the line at where if you have a famous lead singer and they're dead, you're not that band. So I'm very confused. I am very confused about whether I've seen Guns N' Roses. Like, I've seen Guns N' Roses where it's Axl with some Japanese dudes. I've not seen Axl and the guy with the hat Slash play together.
Have you seen Velvet Revolver?
I have seen Velvet Revolver, so I don't know if I've seen them because I've seen them both. No, I don't think it was at the same
quite.
gig.
You've not quite seen them.
Right,
you've almost seen them.
I've almost seen
them.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. But like, mostly I'm not about lineup stuff. But Mad Caddies are a band I've loved for many years, and I was like, I really want to see them. You, Sarah, Jack, don't know them.
I did know them, but I didn't know that
I knew them. That you knew. Yeah. Sarah, she only knows them because I play them, but she didn't know it was those. Yeah. It was Mad Caddies that I played. So when Mad Caddies came on, they just came on and was like, hey, we're just gonna play some music, let's have some fun, and started playing. And I was like, that's what I want. Like, no gimmicks, no chatty, goofy stuff like Zebrahead. Just gonna play because they play good shit. Yeah. And they started playing, and then they got more into it, and then they'd say more things on the mic and do more dancing. But you could tell, but the crowd, when we started, was quite empty, and then it must have been another band finished, or because then it swelled, and I was like, oh, loads of people, because the Mad Caddies are a bit more obscure than say Your Less Than Jake, The Real Big Fish and stuff. Yeah. But I was so happy just watching them and seeing the Mad Caddies because they were everything I wanted them to be, and they played pretty much every song I wanted them to play, and they did them well. Yeah. And I was looking and Jack's these are pretty good, and Sarah's getting really into it, she's dancing around and shit, and it's and
we've got people dancing all around us and stuff.
Yeah.
And people skanking and everything.
Well, that's the thing about these sort of bands, that sort of ska band, when it's done well, the Skints are really like this as well. And it's you look around the crowd and you see people in their little groups, and they're maybe doing a bit silly dancing, or they're skanking, or they're just having a good time. It's there's no anger in the crowd. Yeah. There's no pitting or fuck this, I'm going to take out some... I've got rage about whatever in my life, and this music speaks to me, and we can be angry together and share that rage. It's not about that. And that I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just it's just chill, and people enjoying this. It's just I love the atmosphere in the crowd when you're part of a crowd that's doing that.
I saw one aggressive person the whole time, and I'm not sure if he was actually being aggressive.
Right, sorry for the crinkling noise there. Yeah.
So there was one guy, I can't remember which band it was during. I think he was just really hammered. And he was walking through the crowd, and he walked through the crowd in a way of everyone is in my way, he could be so hammered and he knows he's going to throw up type of thing. So he just walked through and he just moved people. It was that stuff. Guys, you are the I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
And that was the only slightly aggressive sort of thing I saw the entire time.
Fair. I saw a bit of aggression later, but we'll go into that because we've gone. We're chronologically this. Mad Caddies played a great set. I was pretty glad they did Monkeys. It's that song, we're monkeys, we are the monkeys. I love that song. Yeah. And I was dead hype for Mad Caddies. Now, we finished Mad Caddies. Jack, bless him, he's had a lot of injuries, shoulders, all kinds of stuff. So his back's going. Yeah. Now, you're not a big fan of crowds and being around people anyway. So at this point, we split. Yeah. Originally it was Jack was going to sit down because he wasn't bothered about it. It was Goldfinger next. Yeah. I was I'm fucking seeing Goldfinger. Sarah's coming with me because she just likes dancing around ska. She didn't actually know any Goldfinger, or so she thought. Yeah. And I assume it was crowds and stuff. You went off to
I wanted a little bit of break from sort of the air and stuff. I wanted to see Goldfinger, but I more wanted to see Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish. That I was I'm willing to miss this so I can get a sort of breath fresh air.
Is absolutely fair because. I don't know if you've done this. How many gigs did you used to go to when you were a teenager or whatever?
Proper ones, not many.
Okay.
I used to go to a lot of small ones and out of the way ones.
Right. I went to Leeds Festival many years ago. I think it was when I was 16. It might have been a later one. And I remember the main event stage had some bands that were alright. But I wanted to see the BBC Radio 1 tent, as it was called then, because it had Be Your Own Pet in it. It had the Rakes. It had Maximo Park. It had all these bands that I really liked.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to go to this tent. The people I were with, no, you can't go there. You have to come see these with us. We want to see these. And I was like, well, why don't I go to that tent? You go to that tent. Oh, but then what if we can't meet up later? It's like, of course we'll meet up at some point. Like we know where the tent is.
Yeah.
Let's just go. So I like one day I'd go to like the indie, the unsigned tent as used to be at Leeds Fest, and then I'd go to the Radio 1. And sometimes people would join me, sometimes they wouldn't. But I always found there was friction in some groups because it was like, no, there's only one way we enjoy this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just not that guy. So if you guys want to go sit, it's like, fuck it. You guys go sit. Great. It's me and Sarah now. Yeah. So I'm with Sarah, and Goldfinger came out. I fucking love Goldfinger. Like, I didn't realise just how much Goldfinger I knew till I knew every song.
Yeah.
And we got a bit closer for Goldfinger, so it was like, we're surrounded by people all singing along. The dude from Goldfinger, he's 49 years old now, and he comes out and he's just jumping.
He's going for it.
Yeah.
At one point he actually just went, I'm 49, doesn't matter how old or how young you are, you can keep going. I'll go up against anyone in a live show. Like,
well, he said, when he was saying, I did this, I sold shoes, this is a song about selling shoes, and it was Here in Your Bedroom. And then after that he's like, yeah, I got my start in '84 supporting a band that I can't remember the name of. And he's like, and then I got my first tour supporting Bad Religion. And I was like, how fucking old is this guy?
Yeah.
And then it was like, I did this. I was like, fuck, man, this, like, Goldfinger are old. And then I was thinking about, like, well, he always had bleached blonde hair. So that, like, it's difficult to age in that way. Mm. And rockers always have that slightly older look to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, you either always look young or always look a bit older.
Yeah.
So there's no, like, way of really telling, oh yeah, you're 50 or 60 or 20 or 30. And then I've gone back and watched, like, Goldfinger music videos. He's like nearly 40 when he's recording these. Yeah. Nice, good for him and stuff. So I don't know what, we'll go with my Goldfinger and then we'll go with your Goldfinger. Is that alright?
Yeah.
Sure. Goldfinger's just, like, everyone's fucking enjoying it. We're doing songs. There's a song called Mabel, which, like, when she saw his package, says, that looks like a teardrop's puffy nose. And, like, everyone's doing the voices with him and shit. And the Scar section from Real Big Fish came out, and then they played Superman, which was from Tony Hawk's One. That's actually how I discovered Goldfinger. It's not geeky because there's I just donated £10 to it's a video looking back at Tony Hawk's, and it's called Pretending I'm a Superman, and it's that song became iconically connected to it, and I think introduced or made Goldfinger bigger than they were. And when they started playing that, like, just Sarah turned to me, and this first looks like, here I am, doing everything again. And he started like, here I am, and Sarah just turned to her, doing everything again. And she knew it. And then that was it. She was like, everything, she'd already dancing around and just skanking. And then it came up to 11 because she knew every lyrics. And like, holding on to what I am, pretending I'm a Superman. Yeah. Everyone's singing along. Like, just a cacophony of noise. It's fucking brilliant.
That song was with Jack. Jack's not a massive Goldfinger fan. And when that song came on, I just turned to him and I just went, you've got to at least like this song. And he was like, yeah, I like this song. It was like, no one doesn't like that song.
Was he trying to be surly?
No. It was just like, yes, I do like this song.
Because Jack, he has the same tone for when he doesn't particularly like something or likes it. It's only when he really likes it that he'll show emotion for it, or when he really hates it. Do you know what I mean? So you can say like, Jack, do you like eggs on toast? Yeah, I like eggs on toast. Yeah. And that's it. And you don't get a gauge of whether he actually likes it or he's just like, I'm not bothered about eggs on toast, why are you asking me? And that's just Jack's manner and shit. How was it sat down?
It was alright. At first it was just a nice break to be sat down. And then after a bit I sort of felt like I was missing out a little bit from the vibe.
Right.
But at the same time I was finally actually getting to see the bands fully.
You get the viewpoint, the whole stage.
And then after a bit, upstairs essentially became an extension of downstairs.
Is this Real Big Fish or was this for Goldfinger as well?
The end of Goldfinger,
right,
beginning
Superman
of the Real Big Fish. Essentially, the upstairs, people started standing up and started dancing, and I assume everyone, like people from other stages and stuff, had started coming over because downstairs was getting more and more packed, but the upstairs wasn't getting any less packed.
Cool. So these are all bands from like 2000, 99, 2000, 2001. Like, so it's people our age. kind of hitting their 30s,
Yeah.
a bit older, that know them, and then it's kids that are like, if you're a teenager, you probably some of the other bands you're seeing more, but Real Big Fish are a name that stand out. They had the one massive hit which was Sellout, but so after Goldfinger, I'm fucking hyped because Mad Caddies, like I've seen them and they were great, and it was really nice, especially Jack, like when he's like, yeah, they're cool, I really like them, was like, he wouldn't say that if he didn't mean to. Like, even if it's, I really want him to like these, if he didn't,
he'd just go, no.
He'd unapologetically say, no, they're shit. No, I think they're shit. You know, and it might end up in a Nikki Bella situation where he thinks they're so shit, he defensively has to. If he really hates it, he will passionately, like, he will get annoyed if you praise it. But Mad Caddies, like, they hit the right notes. And then Goldfinger, I was like, I loved Goldfinger. Like, I knew every song, which I didn't think I would know, but I realised how much I've listened to Goldfinger in my time. There's a little bird out the window just on the wall. It's very cute.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't see it, sorry.
Yeah, back to Slam Dunk. It's flying away now. So then, that was well timed. I was like, back to Slam Dunk, and it just flew. So, I'm kind of like, I really enjoyed Goldfinger, and the fact Sarah knew Superman and we had that moment was like really, really cool. And then it's like, not quite the main event, but the main event for me, like Real Big Fish. We've seen them once. I've seen them twice I saw them once years ago, and then I saw them with you.
Yeah.
But when I saw them with you, we had to leave early to get the last train. Me, you, and Sarah went. I ended up taking coconut milk into a venue by accident, and my bag got searched, and the guy took out the coconut milk. I was like, looked at it, I was like, sorry, it's coconut milk, it's for cooking. I just forgot to take it out, and he just looked at me like, all right, and put it back in bag. I was like, I could have thrown that at the band, man. Like, I wouldn't. It was Zebrahead, Real Big Fish, Less Than Jake, or Zebrahead, Less Than Jake, then Real Big Fish. But it was like, but we had to leave a bit early. Luckily, we got Sellout and we got some of the stuff, but we didn't see it all because Leeds, like, the last train is always horribly like interrupting of gigs and shows and stuff.
The latest we've ever got a last train from Leeds was 10:30.
Mm.
And that, I think, was that other gig, which is why we got a little bit of it, and we had to like bomb it to the station. Almost.
Yeah. Well, we went Slam Dunk a few years ago in Leeds. We saw just the beginning of King Prawn.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't have seen just the beginning of King Prawn, but I was like, it's fucking King Prawn.
Yeah.
They've been on my list of bands to see, and they've been broken up for 10 fucking years. I'm not missing seeing them come out for this, and they came out. And
then you were extremely happy because they played like your favourite of their songs first.
London Town. I've forgotten what this song's called.
But they opened with it. Anyway,
they opened with it.
I've seen them.
Oh, I've seen that song.
Seen
right, that's it. Let's go. Let's go get the train. Power walk down. Real Big Fisher was like, I hope they play Superman, but I know, like, this, we agreed, this time's the cut-off time.
Yeah.
After this time, we're leaving no matter what. And they played Sellout early, because it's not, they don't end on Sellout. I was like, great. So, we'd made the executive decision we weren't going to see Ball in Pursuit, so that we could get the train to the train early, which ended up working out. So, we'll talk about that. But, Real Big Fish are like, they're the band I want to see. I'm finally going to get a full Real Big Fish set. I haven't seen them in fucking years. I've listened to them and got more into them since that time. Let's do this. And they came out, and they're just like they're so dry in their humour. Like, they're just, hey, we're Real Big Fish, we do this. Hey, oh, here's a song we did. Da da da. They start playing Nirvana. Like, here's a song we did that was big in the 90s, and they start playing Nirvana. Dun, dun,
it was the build-up as well for it, which made it great. Like, they just are like, so we all know why you're here, really. You only really want to hear our big hits. So here's our biggest song from the 90s. Yeah, it's very big. This was what I made it go here and like just dragged it down for ages, and then this just started playing Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
And everyone got into it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, everyone just went, yeah!
But then they're doing like arm movements, like celebrating after every song, like, oh, we great, hooray! And stuff. And just having fun. It was that Mad Caddies vibe of fun. And then, like, they played The Impression That I Get by the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. They played the first thing of that, and then we're like, that was by Linkin Park. Or, Less Than Jake. And, like,
and the Smells Like Teen Spirit's quote then was by Pearl Jam.
Yeah. But what was great was every song, everyone was singing along to. So they played, like, the beginning of LIT, My Worst Enemy. I know they've done this before, and it wasn't like this was new for them. And they played, okay, there was another bit, but they played later on, they broke out of one song to play Low Self-Esteem by The Offspring, and then went back in, and it was just like, it was great. Like, it was so much fun, because every time they played these other songs, and it just reminded, like, the audience was getting into it. And then they did a version of a song called Suburban Rhythm, where like I know they've done it before and they've done Masters of Music and then they play like Master, but this time it was like we're gonna do another version, but you can sing along because it's the same song, and like they did like so remember then they did like a disco version, they did a country version, right?
Heavy metal version.
You remember I talked about aggression?
Yeah,
they did the heavy metal version. They talked about headbanging. Fucking hell, there was a couple like next to us and they would proper like, you know, hands on knees, bent over, just hair flying. Their headbanging was like insane. Like it wasn't aggressive like against people, but it was like proper fucking headbanging.
We're getting into this.
I was like fair play both of you. Like it was a guy and a girl. I was like both of you can headbang. Fucking hell. Like I can't do that, that would hurt. But like and they played Sell Out. This is a hit from the 90s. They playing different songs and then they played Sell Out. Yeah. And then they played other stuff. Every song was great. Every song was something off an album that I purchased and knew, and like the crowd was just, it was very packed. It was having fucking fun. The only downside was coming out, because this arena I've mentioned, like when you went in, it was on your right there were stairs, or you went into the so when you were coming out, you couldn't go out the exit, so you had to loop around to get the stairs. And when it was packed, like Real Big Fish, it was a fucking crush. Like if they're not careful at the venue, someone's gonna get really fucking hurt, because they were like the crowd was pouring out and it's like I'm not moving, I'm just being pushed forward and I can't stop this. Like I was just holding on to Sarah, just arms out, like trying to make sure like she didn't get crushed because she's a little thing. And it was like that venue was bad, but apart from that, Real Big Fish, fucking loved it. How are Real Big Fish from upstairs?
Real Big Fish were great from upstairs. I got to see all the fan interaction with like what they were doing and how they were acting and stuff, which kind of added to it. I loved this isn't anything to do with being upstairs, but I loved that they took their jokes right to the edge. When they did Suburban Rhythm and they kept doing it, I loved that they kept doing it long enough that the last one that they did, they just went, and you can all sing along because this is the same song. No, this is a different song.
And then did the
but you all know it. Like the upstairs by this point, like most of the front end was dancing still, so it was basically I got a good view and got to sit down and still had the atmosphere around me. So Real Big Fish I think was the best as far as upstairs went, atmosphere wise. Probably still would have been better downstairs if but I would have been cramped and I wouldn't have got to sit down, so who cares? I got to see the band.
Exactly. Awesome. You enjoyed it. That's all it fucking matters, dude. Right. Now we come on to Less Than Jake.
Yeah.
I would like to start with your experience of Less Than Jake. Because Less Than Jake, one of your favourite bands.
Yeah.
I always was surprised by that. I told you I'm not a metalhead, Sam. I just look like one. Because you used to have long hair and wear like your... Well, you wore a Less Than Jake t-shirt, but you also had like heavy metal t-shirts.
I didn't ever wear them, but they sort of looked heavy metal. I had an Arctic Monkeys t-shirt that I wore a lot. No one ever picked up on that except for Pam. I had a Less Than Jake one. But
I'm sure you had a Metallica. I'm sure there was something Metallica.
Yeah, I Metallica had a t-shirt.
Fair. Yeah. I'm not sure anymore. I'm doubting it.
The only one I could think of that I might have had, but I think I got rid of this year's before, was a Cradle of Filth t-shirt. But I don't actually like Cradle of Filth.
I wanted a t-shirt, man.
Well, I wanted a very specific Cradle of Filth t-shirt when I was younger, with the masturbating nun on the front.
Right.
And I told Jordan that's what I wanted for my birthday, and he couldn't find that one, so he just got me a different Cradle of Filth t-shirt.
Assuming it was Cradle of Filth, not the masturbating nun with the same thing.
So, yeah.
In some ways, Jordan was doing you a favour with
it. So, Less Than Jake, they were good, but they weren't the highlight. Like, Real Big Fish was so good that they almost felt a little disappointing, for once, but I still loved all that stuff. They got right from the beginning. They got a guy on stage who we'd seen around many times.
Yeah, he was in like a Speedo.
It was in like
thing.
Well, I think it was just a women's like. One bathing suit.
Yeah.
And they had him up on stage dancing, and that was sort of inevitable. It was like at some point he's going to get picked on. They were the ones that got him. And later on, the bit that I found really amusing that you missed because you were in like the crowd where you can't really see as much. They got another guy on stage, and the idea is that they get people on stage and they have them dance during the next song. And they got him on stage and he shook their hands and then walked off stage. before they started playing the song, and they suddenly realised, like, I think it was the sax guy or the like one of the
trombone guy. Yeah.
They like ran off to try to grab him, but he'd already gone. So they dragged this guy on stage, shook their hands, and walked off. Yeah, like they're entertaining. Liked all their music. For the most part, people upstairs were still going. Not as much, like more for the big songs than. So like right at the beginning, they did All My Best Friends Metalheads.
Yeah.
They were going for that. Then they sort of settled down for a bit, and then came back with some of the others. Yeah.
Nice. I think it's interesting because we had similar views on Leicester Jake. So we've seen Leicester Jake a fair bit. We've seen them twice this year now.
Yeah, I've seen them a total of 5 times so far.
And
I know
at least
four. Was it 4 of them with you?
Right. We saw them at Leeds when it was like Newfound Glory.
Yeah.
And we saw Brett. We saw them at Leeds when they were with Real Big Fish.
Yeah.
And Zebrahead.
Yeah.
We saw them in Sheffield where they were with Komori, the Skints, and El Mariachi.
Yeah.
Or Mariachi El Bronx.
Yeah.
And we saw them at Slam Dunk.
Yeah.
So that's at least 4 times in the last few years.
So I've seen 4 times with you, and I'd seen them once before.
I've seen them at Leeds. I've seen them a lot because I saw them at Leeds Fest and stuff. Their thing is they chat shit to each other on stage, and they always do that. And sometimes it feels a bit forced, sometimes it doesn't. But there was something, I don't know if I've like peaked with Less Than Jake, but it's like they come out and they play the classic hits, or some of them, and then they did this in Sheffield as well recently. They have a middle section where it's really new stuff.
Yeah.
That replaces songs that you want to hear, like She's Gonna Break Soon. Where is that? Nowhere, kind of thing. And it felt a bit, I don't know if it was overkill after Real Big Fish, but it just felt like the crowd wasn't connecting as much. Like again, the audience, whereas with Real Big Fish, everyone's fucking into it. Whereas Listen to Jake, like lots of people are into lots of certain songs, but there's a big bit in the middle where people are just sort of swaying or just there's a beat and they're playing on stage. And what they said on the stage wasn't particularly like funny or insightful, and it just felt like maybe you should have gone on before Real Big Fish.
Felt a little rehearsed.
Yeah,
that's how I felt. Like they did before they started playing the new stuff. They were like talking about like the trombonist was like the lead singer was like, I hate our new stuff, and trombonist, I love it, blah blah blah, and all this sort of stuff. And I'm pretty sure that's the exact same same setup that they did when we'd seen them before.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel as fresh.
Yeah, I didn't come out as hyped from Leicester Jake. I was like I've seen a lot better from Leicester Jake, or I felt a lot better watching Leicester Jake. But again, I don't know if that's just overkill because I've seen them so much recently, and
we'd seen so many bands before, and Energy and stuff. Yeah,
it should be interesting because Real Big Fish and the Mad Caddies are coming to Sheffield in October, and we're going to see them again. I'm actually still really excited to see Real Big Fish. They could play the same set again, and I'd love it. Yeah, but I'm not. I didn't feel that with Leicester Jake, and I didn't feel that after the Sheffield one either. I felt like there was lots of great moments, and they had a great ending, but it wasn't as good as when we'd seen them in previous years, and this one felt like that again. I wasn't sure if you'd felt that or picked up on that, or so I'd let you go first. Yeah. You seem to like it wasn't bad, but it felt like this is almost a disappointment because this isn't as good as I know you guys can do.
I think the performance of each of the songs that were the songs you wanted to hear was really good and on point. Like they didn't sort of let down on that. But the bits in between and like their thing, as I say, it sort of felt rehearsed a little bit. Yeah. Again, it could be that they're on tour. You know, they've probably done this show.
They've probably been in England
the day
a lot.
Before. Yeah. Or it could be that it was the end of the day. You know, for us, so we were so used to it.
It could
we
be.
Just had Real Big Fish that were high as hell.
I think, but it did feel like a come down. I had this really good trio of. Like Zebrahead were fine, they were great, but it was the Mad Caddies because it was everything I wanted them to be. Then Goldfinger, which was like surprised me how much I enjoyed Goldfinger, and then Real Big Fish, which was just really hype. I felt like Leicester Jake was a bit of a come down from that level. And
also the other thing that I think may have affected like opinion on it a little bit is Less Than Jake was the last band we were seeing. Yeah, the aim was to leave after Less Than Jake, so it was kind of like we're waiting for them to finish so we can get off. So I don't know if that had any effect or anything.
Right, okay, sure, Less Than Jake finished.
Yeah.
Mixed feelings to Less Than Jake, but they're still Less Than Jake, they're still awesome. Like, still, like, I've listened to a lot less than Jake since and stuff. Me and Sarah walked out. Like, you couldn't go out the exit we'd entered in, so you had to go upstairs, and we found, like, that thing that you'd said, oh, this is exit only, it's not serving as a good exit. Yeah, that was the fucking exit.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason that people kept coming back in there was because that was the exit if you wanted to go to Seaton.
Yeah.
So if you went out there, you had to come back through those doors. You couldn't, if you were left the doors, you had to go back into the queue.
Yeah.
So I think people were going out thinking that they could just go out to SIG areas or whatever and come back in, and then realised they couldn't and come back.
Yes. So it means they headed out that exit, then out the main doors to the outside. It's still actually quite a nice evening at this point. Like, Jack, there was going to be thunderstorms and da. There wasn't.
Yeah.
And then we looked, and we saw you and Jack stood slightly to the right, and we were fucking double arm waving. And you and Jack you were looking in our direction. You just did not see me and
we were
Sarah.
just having a chat.
Yeah, but you were both looking.
Yeah.
And you just did not see us.
Yeah.
Like we got very close to you before you. I think it was you just went, oh.
Yeah. Like I was chatting to him. I'd sent you a message saying that we're at the 10th there, so that you could easily find us. We weren't sure which door you'd be coming out of and whatnot. We started chatting, and then just out of the corner of my eye, like, because I was sort of looking almost at you, but not quite, like, sort of off into the distance, I just saw your arm and then your face, and I just went, oh, they're there, because we were thinking you were coming from the other side.
Yeah.
So we were expecting you to come from that side, so we were just chatting, like, looking general, and then you were there rather than over there.
Yeah. Right. So we're heading back. We started the walk back. Streets, it's darker and more drunk and boozy, but it's actually a more chill out kind of vibe than it was when we arrived, which was nice. We couldn't fully retrace our steps though, because a lot of areas were gated off, because I think that's where I enter Shikari.
Yeah, there was another stage there.
Yeah. A fairly big stage.
Yeah. So I think Slam Dunk must have been quite spread out over the city.
Yeah. And then we saw, walking through, and we couldn't quite. So I asked one guy, how do we get to the train station from here? Because we knew we needed to turn basically left it the next time we could. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't really know Leeds. So I was like, oh, no worries, man, no worries. And then you were like, oh, should we ask one of the officers? I have a general policy, don't ask people holding guns, things. So I just walked past, was like, you can ask them if you want. You didn't.
Yeah.
And then we found a left turn. And you remember I said I saw my mate when we were heading in?
Yeah.
Saw him again. Well, Sarah saw him, pointed out, and I went to say goodbye. Day and night. Now his voice was croaky. His clothes are all kind of creased, and his voice is he's very drunk.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, queue jump, man. Queue jump. First of all, I wouldn't fucking queue jump. Not if I'm queuing to see Enter fucking Shikari, because that's an aggressive fucking crowd. That's the type of crowd that would want to fight.
Yeah.
And also, I want to go get the last train home. So he's like, oh, I can't, man. We're getting the last train home. See you. And he looked and he went, oh, you getting the trains? Yeah. He goes, oh, we booked a hotel. Sorry. It's like, you don't have to be sorry, man.
Yeah.
And then said his goodbyes. We got to the station. Plenty of time. Went and got some food. Subway. It's advertised. Subway. It was fine. And I was like, I'll save my sandwich for the train. We're nice and early. We'll go early. We'll get a seat this time. Yeah.
I did the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got on the train. So the train to Leeds was one of the nice big trains. The train back from Leeds.
There's 2 carriages.
So the train from Leeds to Sheffield, the direct, the one I used to take a lot on my commutes when I lived in Leeds and stuff, is it's two fucking carriages, old coaches that have been converted to be on the rails. They're rickety as fuck and they're horrible. And it's packed.
Yeah.
And we got on, and then everyone's having to move down and shit. It's the last train home, so there's a lot of boozy, lads and chants and stuff. Made friends with a boozy lad called Sam, who was telling me all what his tattoos were, because he asked me what one of mine was, and he kept sort of going to pour water over someone in front of him, and his mate kept elbowing him. And then a horde of people just lined the station outside. Yeah, it was probably more outside than were on the train.
Yeah. So the train was packed. People were trying to get on the train, and it was like, we can't move down. There is no down.
Yeah.
At one bit, I actually shouted. I don't normally sort of join in those bits, but I had the conductor guy come in and say, move down, come on, people, move down, and people at the front were shouting, move down. I was just like, there is no down.
Yeah. Many people were expressing that, and then they delayed the train to add 2 more carriages to it.
It was 3 eventually.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The PA system was shite, because it's a shite fucking train. And the atmosphere started to get a little bit like people are impatient, but it didn't kick off, which was nice because I've seen it. We've been on trains where it's kicked off before, got fucking horrible, but this one didn't. And then train started to move. Blessed be windows, because it's no fucking coach. Every window's open. The cold air's coming in. It's fucking great. That was like aircon for all of us. And then like it started stopping at the stops where normally you never see anyone off, like Woolsford and stuff. And people are getting off. So I'm like, oh great. And we got a seat like before too long.
Yeah.
Was it Castleford?
It was Castleford.
A lot of people
dropped off there.
And then we actually got a seat. Then it was just dealing with boozy guys talking about like his mate. Oh, this guy Sam I made friends with, he's fucking cheating on his missus. I found out. That's fucking awful. And he kept shouting, "Oh, Sam! And his mate Sam would look and he'd go, "You're right.
Yeah.
2 stops." And then let him go back to sleep. Like Jack was not happy with this.
Like I was sort of like half and half with him. Like it was too often that he was doing it. But I sort of appreciate that he was looking out for his mate like every so often. But also, I think he was doing it so often to annoy his mate more than just check on him.
Yeah.
Like, part of it was checking, part of it was just being a dick.
I think it was just drunk.
Yeah.
Just silliness. It wasn't the worst. Like, combos weren't too bad, actually. There wasn't, like, a racist edge or stuff, which I've experienced in other trains.
Although I did find drunk, almost passed out Sam quite amusing. His mates just there like, So, we're going home after this. We're going out. Thumbs up. He's like, you can't stand up at this point, and you're just like, yeah, we're going out.
They were funny, they were cheeky, they were what they were. We ended up, when people left the Casper, we ended up with 3 seats. Sarah just sat on my lap and all 3 of us squashed in. And then later on, like, more people left, so you got C and Sarah to that space and stuff. Me and Jack had a great combo about wrestling, all the great tag teams and everything else. Train wasn't too delayed. We got home. Got a taxi. It wasn't an eventful taxi ride home. I got home. I finally had my Subway. Yeah. And then I went to work yesterday. The next day, voice all but gone. It was croaky as fuck. And then I saw my boss and we talked about bands. It's a low key ending for me. How was your ending?
Uneventful taxi the rest of the way. Got home, ate my Subway. I think I attempted to start watching some TV and then just did not have the energy and was like, fuck this, I'm going to sleep. Got up and chilled out all day.
Yeah. So there you go, Slam Dunk Festival. Let's sum it up. How was your Slam Dunk Festival?
It was good.
Good.
Yeah, I enjoyed all the bands that I saw. I didn't have like my usual shit with hating crowds anywhere near as much as I normally do, which was nice. Like being packed on a train would normally be a nightmare situation for me, but that in train, frankly, it was so amusing trying to see that many people when it still got going on the train.
Yeah,
I just forgot
it was a
about
fucking
it.
horde,
We're
dude.
just
It was
there
a
laughing
horde,
at people.
Probably not played it up, just how bad it was. And people were getting really irritable and there were like various stages of
we didn't know they were adding trains.
Yeah.
Like, when we were on it.
Adding carriages.
Yeah, we didn't know they were adding carriages when we were on it. It was only when we got off, and we got on the train and there was 2 carriages, and we got off the train and there was 5, and we were like,
oh, this train's
this
huge.
is why we were late.
Yeah,
because they didn't connect them fully, they just added them.
Yeah.
So like you couldn't walk through, so everyone that was already on our carriages couldn't go find other seats. It was just they added more carriages for the people, for the hordes trying to get on.
Yeah. So my feelings on, I thought it was excellent. I think so I'm very into like my ska and my punk bands. Like back in the day, I was more Blink-182, Offspring, and more indie, and I got more of my old like 80s punk and stuff. And I love all that kind of music. I love my blues. I love like Ella Fitzgerald and all that. But there's a certain brand of like ska-y, more modern take on it. They call it like the third wave.
Yeah.
Fuck that. And Slam Dunk is the only festival that every year consistently delivers that kind of lineup.
Yeah.
My only worry is like there were lots of bands like Sponge, etc., that I'm worried will get lost in the shuffle of, oh look, we're bringing in these American bands. Like you could have easily taken the Ataris or Phoenix TX, as far as I know from listening to them, out and put in more scary, more that kind of band, and it would fit. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't forget about Cap Down because they're amazing. That kind of thing is like, they're the bands I don't want people to forget about. I don't want it to just become its American imports from 2000. I want it to stay like, keep that slightly obscure edge as well. Yeah, keep swapping around. But it was great. It was a great fucking festival. It was actually, I'm not sure about the arena venue just for crowds. Like I feel like it's new and they might need to do some opening up or something because there was, like I said, Real Big Fish was a throng.
Well, that crowd, like compared to the 2 years before when we went, was massive. There was way more people at that stage than before. I don't know if that's because obviously you don't have the other stage next to it, so people couldn't just progress to it and only come to see the bands they wanted as easily.
Well, it's grown. It's fucking grown. It's a festival.
So hopefully they'll maybe learn from that and make it a bit more easy to access and separate more. Because a lot of the stuff seemed to be blocked off with that big black, the big black curtain that they put at the back.
Yeah.
I feel like there's probably other exits that they could probably put on there.
Yeah.
I don't. It's hard to tell because it's around so much.
It's so nice because this is like before, even like my teens and stuff, where I went to lots of gigs. Like your festivals, you'd get one or two. The only festival I can think that consistently had a scary vibe was Boomtown, which was always like an expensive festival. But apart from that, it's like you'd maybe get like Less Than Jake on a stage, but they would be followed by like, System of a Down. I like both bands, but if I want a scary, the vibes are different. You know what I mean? And now,
I know Download one year had Less Than Jake followed by Metallica.
Yeah, probably did. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. And also now you've got like. You've got your, like, say your Leeds Fest. Well, they've got, like, a rapper. Before they had rappers. Like, I saw Jay-Z at Leeds one year. But it's, like, now you've got, like, your rapper headline. You're going to have Coldplay headline. Glastonbury's, like, Coldplay, isn't it, stuff. Or you're going to have, like, Muse. Every fucking year it seems to be Muse. Or Arcade Fire are now considered a headline act for, like, Leeds and stuff. And it's always this mismatch and a jack of all. And what I like about Slam Dunk is it has these different stages, and they're all very much, this is the style of music for this stage. We're going to stick within this. And I thought it was really well executed. Yeah. Like there were back searches and there were body searches and everything else, but it felt well planned out.
Yeah.
It felt well organised. It felt like the queue, you knew where to queue, and like for most of it, it just felt like a well organised festival.
Yeah.
And it's like my second Slam Dunk now, and it's grown in the 2 years between the two we've been to. It's grown a shit ton, but it's kept that feel so far of being like, this is you appreciate this style of music, we're going to give you a stage that does this. I really, really like it. I think it's a great fucking festival.
I find you have a really nice, or so far, there's always been like a really sort of nice crowd to Slam Dunk. Like, you don't have the people shouting in the queue, like going, oh, they just accept. It's like, yeah, we're in a queue, we're going for back searches, this is what happens. Like, you have like the circle pits and everything that everyone just kind of moves out of the way for each other. You don't really get
I don't know
aggression.
I don't know if that's because of the style of music. The scary style of music brings that crowd. Because those bands don't tend to be the aggressive, but I don't know. Because I remember wandering into the heavy metal tent one year that they had just outside the Leeds building a couple of years ago, and it was like the atmosphere in there was great. Like, I think it's like that all around. It definitely seems like when you're queuing for a toilet, no one's really being a dick, taking a piss.
One better when I was in the toilets, everyone's like there queuing because there's like 2 urinals and 2 cubicles. It's probably one of the few times I've actually been in like a guy's toilet where there's been queues, and like one bit like some drunk lads just came and he just went, "What are you all doing? The sinks here, we can use them." And his mate just goes, "Probably shouldn't." He's like, "Fine, we'll wait."
Yeah, but it was good. It was a great festival. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
really enjoyed it. For the 4 of us, it was a really good, all round, all 4 of us had a really good fucking experience. Slam Dunk Festival 2017. We went, we watched it, we recommend it, but it's too late.
Yeah, success.
Yeah, that's it. This one watched is over. Fuck talking about things we've watched. We've gone on so long.
Yeah, so that was Slam Dunk.
Yeah, thanks for listening. If you made it to the end, gold star.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.